everyone. I have put together a video which is a seated movement session, stretching and mobilising and strengthening, and it's basically to counteract all of the forward flexion that we have when we're sitting at our desks all day. So I guess a lot of people are working from home at the moment, so you can get away with doing a bit of a workout at your desk that you wouldn't normally get to do in the office. So yeah, just make sure that if you're not already seated, sit in a chair. Ideally you want to be able to have your knees at a right angle, so your feet are flat on the floor, your knees are over your ankles and your shoulders are over your hips. So get yourself settled and hope you enjoy it. We're going to start off with some rib cage breathing. So I want you to bring your hands onto the rib cage and you're going to have the middle fingers just touching each other. Relax the shoulders down, lengthen out the neck. You're going to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. So you want to feel that as you're breathing in, the rib cage is expanding into the heels of the hands and maybe into the back of the chair. And as you're exhaling, you're softening the ribs down, creating length in the spine and keeping the shoulders nice and relaxed. And we'll do one more breath. And we're going to keep the ribs nicely settled down onto the body. We're going to do some corkscrew arm raises. So we're going to inhale to float both arms up above the shoulders and then turning the palms to face down as you exhale, lengthening the spine as you press down through the arms. Inhaling to float the arms up and exhale to press down through the arms. So imagine you're moving your arms through water, so there's a little bit of resistance there, and you're flowing nicely with the breath. Exhaling, every time you press down, the top of the head is reaching up towards the ceiling, so we're lengthening the spine like a corkscrew. Exhaling, using the deep core muscles to do that. And let's just do one more. Exhale, lengthen the spine as you press down. And then we're going to take a little side bend. So I want you to bring your right hand and you can maybe grab hold of the back side of the back of the chair, or grab hold of the seat of the chair, or you can just place the hand on the hip. It's quite nice, I think, to have a bit of traction if you can grab hold of something. Make sure this right shoulder is nice and relaxed. We're going to inhale to float the left arm up, keeping the shoulder down away from the ear. And then as you exhale, you're reaching up towards the top corner of the room, opening out the side of the rib cage, getting a nice stretch all the way down underneath the armpit. Inhaling to come back to the centre, exhaling to lower the arm back down. We're going to do that 2 more times. Exhale. And exhale. And one more. And then we'll do the other side. So reaching around, seeing what you can catch hold of without kind of straining this shoulder. Inhaling and exhaling, keeping the right sit bone nicely anchored into the seat of the chair. And then we're just going to roll out the shoulders. So I want you to bring your hands onto your shoulders. And we're going to do some nice big circles with the elbows, opening out the chest. Bringing the elbows back behind you and then seeing if you can touch them together as you bring them forward. Really opening out and stretching all around the shoulder girdles. It feels really nice. Let's do another 3. And 1 more. And then just release the arms down, give them a little shake. And next we're going to just stretch the back of the neck and extend the spine. So we're going to bring the hands, interlace the fingers, bring the hands onto the back of the head. And then I want you to press the head back into the hands and lift with your hands, lift the head up as if you're trying to pull your head up off the top of your spine. Really lengthening through the spine. And then as you exhale, you're gently going to press your head back into your hands, but resist with the hands. Inhale to release. Exhale to press back. Inhaling to release, keeping both shoulders down the back, exhaling as you press back. So we're thinking of pressing back and lifting up away from the shoulders at the same time. Let's do 2 more. Last one. And then gently release the arms. Next we're going to do a spine twist. We're going to fold the arms one on top of each other. And we're going to take a breath in to prepare. As you exhale, you're rotating the rib cage and looking straight out over the forearms. Inhaling to come back to centre. Exhaling to rotate the other way. So the weight's staying nice and even on both sit bones. So we're not moving the pelvis at all. The rotation is all coming from the ribs. As you inhale and come back to the centre, you're lengthening the spine. And as you exhale, you're wringing all of the air out. Over each way. Come back to the centre, release the arms down. And next we're going to engage the deep core muscles by doing a knee float. So I want you to take a breath in to prepare. As you exhale, you're going to use the deep core muscles to float one thigh up away from the chair. Inhaling to gently place it back down. Exhaling to float the other thigh up. Inhaling to place it back down. So the spine is staying nice and still, and that float is coming from deep inside the core. Let's just do 1 more on each side. And this time we're going to straighten out the leg and inhale to bend. Exhaling to straighten, inhaling to bend. We're waking up the quads. We're also still working the core. One more on each side. And then I want you to float your right knee up, catch hold of the knee with the hands, again keeping the shoulders relaxed down the back, and we're gently going to circle the foot, just mobilising the ankles. Might get a few little crackles. And then go back the other way. And then I want you to hug that knee in a little bit tighter if you can. And then use the hand to help you place the foot onto the opposite knee. If you need to move the left leg away a little in order to do that, then that's fine. And then we're just going to stretch out the glutes. So I want you to just gently let that hip stretch and release. We're slowly going to come into the glute and hip stretch. And if you're getting a good stretch there, then that's fine, just hold it there. If you want a bit more of a stretch, then I want you to angle your chest so you're facing over the foot. And then we're going to hinge forward, so I want you to move the rib cage forward, so you're hinging at the hips towards that foot. And you should feel a nice big stretch on the outside of that glute. So just take it to wherever you can to feel that stretch, keeping the spine nice and long, shoulders well placed down away from the ears so we're not gathering up any tension. And then we'll gently ease out a bit, picking up that foot and gently placing it down so we're not putting any strain on the knee. And then we're going to go with the other side, so floating the knee up and circling the foot. And then go the other way. Then you can hear the little crackles. And then we're going to hug that knee in a little bit more. And placing the foot onto the opposite knee. We just let it gently stretch. We'll ease into the stretch. And then I'm going to rotate the chest and hinge forwards at the hips. So now I'm getting a big stretch up there, outside of my left hip. Again, keeping the shoulders well placed down the back, lengthening out through the top of the head. So we're always thinking about our posture when we're doing these stretches and making sure that you're not gathering up any tension in the body. You want to keep the body nice and soft. And then we'll ease out a bit. Place the foot back down. And then I want you to, if you're not already there, I want you to shuffle right back onto your chair so that your back is on the backrest. You should still have your shoulders over your hips. We're going to do a bit more of a back extension. So I want you to place your hands behind your head like we did before. Lengthen the back of the neck. Make sure that the shoulders are sliding down away from the ears. And then we're going to extend just like you did before, pressing the head back into the hands, but lifting the top of the head up towards the ceiling, lengthening out the spine. And then you might find that you can go a little bit further, opening the breastbone to the ceiling, but still supporting the weight of the head with the hands. Just see how it feels, and then ease out a bit. And again, exhale to extend. It should feel like a really nice opening after sitting at a desk. Let's do that one more time. Lengthening the spine as you look up towards the ceiling. Keeping those shoulders down. This time I'm going to hold it. I want you to see if you can release the arms. Open your wings out wide. So reach the fingertips towards the sides of the wall. Open out the chest, and then we're going to flex and extend. So as you exhale, you're going to round the spine, curling the tailbone underneath you to flex. And then we'll inhale and open out into that lovely extension. Exhaling to flex, inhaling to extend. Let's do two more. And last one. And then come back into our nice upright seated posture. Finally, we're just going to stretch out the neck nice and gently. So always be cautious and nice and gentle when you're stretching your neck. We're going to start by just gently dropping the head to one side so the ear comes towards the same shoulder. Make sure you're keeping both shoulders relaxed down and just place your hands into your lap. And we're just going to hold it here, breathing into the side of the neck. If you want a bit more of a stretch, then you can bring your hand on top of the head, and you're not going to pull, you're just going to let the weight of the hand gently deepen the stretch on the neck. If you still feel like you want a bit more of a stretch, then you can reach around with the opposite hand and hold onto the side of the chair and lean away slightly over to the right. And I'm going to change the stretch slightly. I want you to turn your head as if you're trying to sniff your armpit, and move the hand, if you have the hand helping you, onto the back of the head, and then gently stretch. So now we're stretching the back corner of the neck. Nice and gently. And then to come up, we're going to use the hand to help support the head back up to centre, coming back into the middle. And let's start again with the hands on the lap, gently dropping the head to one side. It might feel much tighter on one side than the other. And then if you want to increase it, you can place the hand on top of the head. I always quite like to close my eyes when I'm stretching the neck. It just kind of lets you feel what's going on and reminds you to move nice and gently. And I'm going to hold on to the side of the chair and lean away from that hand. So this lets me feel the stretch much more down the side of the shoulder. And then I'm gently going to turn my head as if I'm trying to have a sniff of my left armpit. And there's a very light pressure on the back of the head. And again, I'm going to use my hand to support the head to bring it back up to centre. Make sure everything's feeling okay. Have a little bit of a roll around. So next I'm going to stretch the front muscles of the neck, which get quite tight as well when we're sitting and looking at our screens all day. So I want you to place your hands just underneath the collarbones and use your hand to create some traction on the skin, just gently pulling the skin down there, and place the other hand on top. And then I'm going to open my mouth and gently tip my head back so I'm looking up at the ceiling. I'm going to see if I can hold it there and slowly close the mouth together, which is going to create a big stretch on the front of the neck. So let's do it together. And then bring your head back to the centre. Finally, we're going to stretch the back of the neck, so I want you to interlace your fingers, clasp them together behind the back of the head, and then as you exhale, dropping the chin towards the chest, and then looking down into your lap. The weight of the arms is gently stretching the head. We're just going to hold it here. And then gently roll back up. And then we're going to finish off with another few shoulder circles. And release and have a little wiggle around. And then you can get back to work. Hope you're feeling a bit more released.